My name's Mike Curran. I'm a professor of teacher education at Rider University. I was also a student at Rider University back in the 60s, had a teaching career, and then was asked to come back to Rider as a professor. One of the things that I've noticed in my teaching career is how quickly things change. What I learned here at Rider in teacher education really no longer applies in the field. One of the things that has really made a marked difference for me is how we use digital technology in the schools and what we can do and how powerful of a tool it can be. I created a course 4 years ago entitled Social Media in Education, and the course is oversubscribed. I can't offer enough sections for it because the students find it so useful. One of the things that we really talk about is their digital footprint. What should it look like for them? And when the students come in, I have already analyzed their Facebook pages, their Twitter pages, their Instagram pages, their Pinterest pages, to see what they've posted, and they're absolutely shocked when I talk about something that I saw that represents their digital footprint. And that's the way we begin our class, because we say, how do you want to portray yourself as an educator? One of the things that I find so interesting is I have a number of students who are now key individuals in education in New Jersey. They come back and speak with my students and talk to them about their digital footprint, what it should be, how they're going to be interviewed, and all the key things they have to consider as teacher education students or pre-Ts. One of the gentlemen that I have come in is the superintendent of the Ewing schools. His name is Mike Nitti. And Mike was a personnel director in 2 districts before he became superintendent in the Ewing schools. And he gives the students real life situations on teachers he's had to reprimand or fire because of small mistakes that they've made with social media. I have 2 other gentlemen who were former students, Brad Curie, who's the research director in the Chester schools. Brad comes back and talks about how influential social media can be in the schools. He and Scott Rocco, Billy Krakauer have an organization called Evolving Educators that they provide training for in education. And they offer every Saturday morning SatChat, hashtag SatChat, where teachers just discuss topics, and my students have to discuss those topics too and get involved. And one of the things that his fellow author, Scott Rocco, always says to my kids, you're leveling the playing field when you're on Twitter or you're on Facebook, because you're out there talking to superintendents or key individuals in districts at the same level. So you can expand your professional learning network, expand your digital footprint, and become very, very involved with technology. And that's one of the things that I have found, is that the more involved we get, the greater it is. One of my speakers came in recently and said to the kids, how many of you were not allowed to use cell phones in your classes in high school? And they all raised their hands. And then he asked the question, how many of you used cell phones in high school? And they all raised their hands. So he said, if you're going to use the technology anyway, why don't we embrace it? And one of the gentlemen who has really embraced it is a gentleman who's the superintendent of the Tabernacle schools here in New Jersey, Glen Robbins. And Glen was recently named Digital Middle School Principal of the Year by the National Association of Secondary Schools Principals. Glen is always out there. He's very visible. He does postings every day. He generates such great interest from the community and from his own teachers in terms of how to use digital technology in the schools, that he's like a whirlwind. He's everywhere at once, and he does wonderful things. He came from the Northfield district in New Jersey, and from the Northfield district, he had a student who sent him a note recently indicating that because of his excitement and enthusiasm with digital technology in her school, when he was there as principal, she went on to study social media and digital technology in college. And I think that's really what says it all. The professors here at Rider are embracing technology, and they're embracing their digital footprints, expanding their own professional learning networks in Twitter and Facebook. But they're really becoming, they're allowing students to have a voice. And one of the new technologies that we've all begun to use, it's a great application called Flipgrid. And Flipgrid gives the professor an opportunity to pose questions visually, and the students have to respond visually to them. But it can be done on any device, in any area, anywhere. So it just provides almost a fluid conversation in any content area for kids to get involved with digital technology. And the exciting thing about it is it's changing. What I did last week, I won't be able to do next year because it will have changed so much. So I'm really blessed, one, to be at an institution that provides me with that flexibility, but also to be in contact with so many key individuals who understand technology and how it should be used in the schools.